Officials in Kyiv, Ukraine, are reporting that Ukrainian forces conducted a raid across the Dnipro River. It reportedly hit a Russian command in the southern Kherson region, and it comes as both Ukraine and Russia have been ramping up attacks against one another. Earlier this week, Russia launched a series of airstrikes in residential areas. One of those was Pokrovsk. Ukraine is now accusing Russia of targeting rescue workers there after the blasts were launched nearly an hour apart. 9 people were killed, including 2 rescue workers. More than 80 others were injured. And just looking at some of the damage as they try to find survivors underneath that rubble, it is overwhelming to see. Officials in Ukraine and in the U.S. have also noted the counteroffensive by Ukraine is moving slower than initially thought. I want to bring in Yevheniya Kravchuk. She's a member of parliament in Ukraine. Yevheniya, thank you, as always, for being with us. You're always generous with your time. We've got a lot of ground to cover here. I first want to start with the woman who's been detained, a Ukrainian woman in this apparent assassination plot against President Zelensky. What more can you share about who she is and what we know?
Apparently she was paid by Russians and controlled by Russian FSB, which is Secret Service. And it's, of course, not the first plot that was uncovered, because, as you know, President Zelensky was the target #1 since the very first day, as well as the higher military command, the intelligence service command, and others. So we do understand that Russia's ultimate goal would be to kill President Zelensky, and all of our Secret Service are trying and working hard to prevent that. And of course, they might do some other plots to assassinate the President Zelensky, because he had been a symbol of resilience and the fight that Ukrainians are making.
How often is this type of thing happening, that Russians are trying to target Ukrainians? I mean, the propaganda machine is well at work here. I know part of the focus for you in Parliament is trying to control some of that misinformation from getting through. What is the strategy to combat that?
Well, of course, Russians are still trying to influence through social media, through some channels that might some Ukrainians watch. But of course, we have sanctions on Russian media. But, you know, social media is still available, and you can get the disinformation both in Ukraine or United States. You also know that Russians were trying to influence even elections in the United States. You can imagine what they tried to do to Ukrainians. And of course, their strategy in the occupied areas is to cut off Ukrainians in these areas from the real information. And for example, some of the people who were captives, when they returned to Kyiv-controlled territory, they said that basically Russians told that Ukraine no longer exists, and you know, Kyiv is already was fallen to Russians, so they tried to do it. And of course, they tried to influence even the politicians. Even I got some threats, probably was made by FSB as well, saying that, you know, you don't have to continue to resist, but of course, we will continue our fight.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.